report to the National Assembly on any matter concerning a department or other business of government committed to his or her charge contempt of Parliament and other available best practices in Commonwealth jurisdictions, together with our relevant laws, to prepare the Assembly for any further incidents. As a result, and in accordance with Standing Order 11, the agenda of this session is hereby revised and circulated to all honorable members and stakeholders. And on that note, now wish to invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice to deliver his oral apology to the Assembly. Thank you. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's unfortunate I have to stand before you, honorable members, to apologize to you for something that happened inadvertently. My absence on the 8th of February to appear before the National Assembly was clearly unintentional, and I deeply regret the inconvenience that it has caused the National Assembly. I have sent a written apology, as the Honorable Speaker have indicated, but in addition, I'm here before you to formally and sincerely apologize to this National Assembly. I also would like to add that it does not signify any kind of disrespect to this body. It so happened that some lapses happened and I was not able to appear, but my absence was not a sign of disrespect to this august assembly. I urge the National Assembly members, the Honorable Speaker, and the Office of the Clerk to accept my apology. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. May I recognize the presence of High Excellency, the Vice President. Thank you. Clerk, you may proceed.
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 10 February 2022.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, the 10th of February 2022 is before us for corrections and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Yes, Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to push a motion that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 10th February 2022 be corrected and approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any second? Yes, Banjul Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, the 10th of February 2022 be approved. Any corrections or observations from honorable members? We'll start with the front page. Any issues on the first page? The front page. Any issues on the front page? Move over to page 1. Page 1. Thank you. Page 2. Can we check the attendance, please? Going on to page 3. We're all satisfied with the attendance? Okay, page 4. Woolly East. We are okay? Okay, thank you. Page 4. Page 4, yes, Woolly East.
Yes, page 4, the last paragraph, the last sentence. The clerk read aloud the short title of the bill. The bill is read for the first time. So we say the bill is deemed to have been read a first time. You've seen the correction.
I'm sorry, Deputy Clerk, take note. Any more observations on page 4? Page 5. Page 5. Page 6. Yes, Willis.
Thank you. Let's look at it together. Page 6, correction put and accordingly agreed to, the first line, that this assembly do ratify the agreement for the development objective grant agreement. So we just say this assembly do ratify the development objective grant agreement. We don't need to repeat agreement twice.
It was being referred to the agreement first and then the title of the agreement. Yeah. Anyway, it's noted. Thank you. Any more observations on page 6? Page 7. Page 7. Page 8. Page 8. Oh. Yes, Yanija?
Page 8, the last word. Instead of sub, I think we always use prompt. 10 a.m. prompt.
Anything else? I'd have gone through it a second time. No. Thank you very much. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, the 10th of February 2022 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, Clerk. Can we proceed?
Bill, Standing Order 72, consideration stage of the following bill. The Public Service Pensions Bill 2020 by Her Excellency the Vice President.
Thank you very much. Honorable members will recall that the Joint Committee on Public Enterprises and the Finance and Public Accounts Committee the committee has reported on the bill committed to it. That is the Public Service Pensions Bill 2020. The report of the said Joint Committee was equally adopted by the plenary. Accordingly, the consideration stage for the said bill is scheduled for today. Honorable? Yes, you have some?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I'm just seeking further clarification. Is it that the ABC will be submitting its report to the Assembly for a motion to be moved, for a decision to be made, or has the ABC made a decision already? That's my, I'm wondering on procedure.
The plenary asked the ABC to look into the matter and report back. So the decision there was they would look into the matter together with the legal team. They looked into the various options, and together with the chairperson of the Standing Orders Committee, and we came to a decision, and that is what we were reporting back to the committee. So it was that is why it was communication from the chair.
Honorable Speaker, I think afterwards we'll see each other.
Pardon?
I'll see you afterwards.
You see?
So that we tidy up the procedure.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Where was I? I think it could, yeah, I know. I think it could have been brought up after the communication. Yeah. Of course, I would have allowed it after the communication. Thank you very much. As I said, the report of the Joint Committee was adopted, and accordingly, the consideration stage for the said bill is scheduled for today. Now, during the consideration stage, honorable members shall have the opportunity to give detailed consideration and scrutiny to every clause unscheduled in the bill. This stage also provides the first opportunity for amendments to the bill to be debated and voted on. I will now, therefore, resolve the Assembly into Committee of the Whole Assembly to give consideration to the bill. That is the Public Service Pensions Bill 2020. The Assembly now resolves into Committee of the Whole Assembly. Thank you very much. The Assembly now resolves into Committee of the Whole Assembly. Can I be... Yes. Honorable members, the Assembly will now go into the committee. We will also be guided by the committee's report on the bill and clause 72 of the standing orders during the consideration stage. You will all recall that the report was adopted, and the chairperson of the joint committee will, that is the chairperson of PEC, will assist in guiding us through these different stages. Thank you very much. Sorry?
We going by part or clause by clause? It's easier by part.
I did say clause by clause because I think most of the proposed amendments deal with the clauses. If we are to go by part, it may not be too tidy. So I think it's better for us to go clause by clause, and that was why I announced clause by clause. Right? Thank you. We can start. Thank you.
Clause 1, short title and commencement.
Thank you very much. It is proposed that clause 1, short title and commencement, stand part of the bill.
Chair,
do you?
So that we can involve the movers and know that they are really in charge of the bill, could we look at clause 72.6 clause 72(6). And we'll just proceed that way, and it'll be very fast. Of the standing orders, yes. It is saying, could I go ahead? Okay, it's saying that the clerk shall call the number of each clause in succession, and the person in charge of the bill shall move the clause when called to do so. If no amendments are offered, then no debate. So could we just simply say that the mover will move what was the original, and then I'll propose the amendments of the committee. Yes. It is to help them to see that they are in charge of the bill. I think their absence cannot be.
So, because the clause indicates when called to do so. If he or she is not called, then we cannot. Do we agree generally that the calling is general in all clauses?
Well, I think you see the logic that for them to know that they should be here to move their bill. You know, the committees have, so they take charge of the bill because they are the movers. Once we do that, then in the original, they don't even have to read, but it's just to say that clause 1, just as the clerk, just as the clerk says, they also say.
Just a second, they need to be guided.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Clerk, guide.
Clause 1.
Clause 1, subtitle and commencement.
I invite Her Excellency, the mover of the bill, to move that it forms part of the bill.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Honorable National Assembly members. I move that clause 1 stand as part of the bill. Thank you.
Our Chair, yes. Any proposed amendment?
Yes.
Yes. Let's deal with the chair first.
Yes, Honorable Chair, we have says in the original 20, this act may be cited as the Public Service Pension Act 2020. Now we are in 2022. So the amendment is proposed that this may be cited as the Public Service Pension Act 2022. As proposed in our report.
Yeah, can you cite the page on the report?
The page of the report in mine will be different from yours because of my eyes, Honorable Speaker, but it's clause 1.
18, page 18.
It's clause 1. Let me have yours. Let me have your original. So let me have your original. Yeah, just me give it. Yeah, just elsewhere. Okay, the report is on page 18, Honorable Chair. page 18. Why not take my number? Yeah, I've exchanged it so that I get your version.
I know. It is, honorable members, it is proposed that clause 1 stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Clause 1 now stands part of the bill as amended.
Clause 2, interpretation.
Your Excellency, please, clause 2. Your microphone, please.
Madam Chair, Honorable Minister, Honorable National Assembly members, I move that clause 2 stand as part of the bill.
Thank you very much. Yes.
The
Chair.
committee has amendments there. Clause 2, Honorable Chair, deals with interpretation. We did take evidence, and we did discover that there are new terminologies that should be included, and there are terminologies that needed to be redefined. And we have done that, and we have reconciled with the mover in that instance, and the committee proposes that clause 2, as amended in our report, stand part of the bill.
Any observations from honorable members? No. The bill now stands part of the bill as amended. Thank you.
Clause 3, application.
Excellency.
Madam Chair, Honorable National Assembly members, I move that clause 3 stand as part of the bill. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, we have no amendment. In our report, it stands part of the bill. It is proposed that clause 3 stands part of the bill without amendment.
It is proposed that clause 3 stands part of the bill without amendments, as it is on the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Thank you. So clause 3 now stands part of the bill.
Clause 4, establishment of the scheme.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
In terms of the heading, establishment of, administration of, and contribution, those ofs are deemed not to be necessary. It is proposed that clause 4, with amendment by removing the of, start part of the bill.
Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 4, as amended, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So clause 4, as amended, stand part of the bill.
Clause 5, membership of the scheme.
Thank you very much, Honorable Madam Chair. Honorable National Assembly members, I move that clause 5 stand as part of the bill.
Honorable Chair, we are proposing an amendment. We have observed that in consideration stage, that employment number is already covered with the personal identification number already given to employers. So in that regard, it is proposed that clause 5, subclause 2, be amended to to contain an employment number instead of a unique personal identification number. It is proposed that Clause 5 stand as part of the bill as amended in our report.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Clause 5, membership of the scheme. It is proposed that the Clause 5, membership of the scheme, stand part of the bill as amended. Sorry, yes, Senator.
Yes, Madam Chair, I am not clear with the amendment. Is it that what the honorable member of Serekunda is saying that the unique personal identification to be removed, replaced with another number, or both to be maintained?
We are saying,
very well.
Well, that would have been much better during the our report stage. But what he's saying here is that the Director of Pension shall issue a unique personal identification number. We are saying that that is not really necessary because there is already an employment number that is available. And that is really what is going to be utilized instead of another personal identification number. And that has been proposed as part of the amendment. It is already in the clean document. That's why we are proposing that Clause 5 stands part of the bill as amended in our report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Serekunda, member from Serekunda, and Madam Chairperson. I think he asked a very pertinent question in regards to the issue of the unique number. What used to happen was that you have a personal unique number where, that's your employment number that goes along with you. Now, what was agreed, if I may remember very well, and I think I have my permanent secretary here, was your Honorable, to give them a unique identification number that is going to go with them throughout because they are no longer having their identification number as employees, they are pensioners now. So we give them a unique number that is going to be held by them, and when they come for payments or whatever support they need, that number is going to be the identifier. That was the proposal. Thank you.
Well, could the Honorable Vice President or Her Excellency do consultation with the Permanent Secretary on this issue?
I did, and he's just sitting right on my right side, on my left side, and we are consulting. That was the issue that was raised. Thank you. We want to maintain the unique pass numbers for them, identification numbers for them.
Well, you can propose that, Honorable Speaker, then it's left to the members, but in reconciliation, it came from them that already there existed an employment number that is currently being used, and there was no need for a unique personal identification number. I think that evidence came from their end, from somewhere. Okay. So, but do we object? I don't think we object.
Yes.
Not object, but the reason why I think, if my memory serves me right, we agreed was instead of having two numbers, we will go in for a single number. Am I right?
That was the idea, that already a number exists. Why do you create a number?
Already a number exists, so there is no need to have another number. I thought that was the rationale. But let us take some other honorable members who were in the committee. Yes, one by one. Honorable.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah, I think we had a discussion on this particular issue. When you look at the systems, like the databases that captures the financial transactions, there can only be one unique number. And the fact that all the employees right now, they have an employee number, which is also very unique to them, we agreed that it makes sense to maintain that number. Even if you leave the service of the government of the Gambia, the number actually follows with you. And you do that for a simple reason. When you go back to query transactions that actually has occurred for the past 10, 15, or 20 years, the Accountant General will ask you for the employee number. So if you create a different number, different from this particular number, it can cause some issues at the level of the Accountant General's office. And that's the reason we thought it's better to us to maintain the employee number. Even if you leave the service, they can always go back and retrieve information based on that number.
May I just come here? We are speaking on behalf of the Accountant General. Once your job is terminated and you are pensioned, we have done very good consultation on that because I was also particularly interested. If you are employed, you have a unique number to yourself. Now that you are retired, yes, what is it? And it went to the Accountant General. And it was reported that it can create a confusion between active and non-active employees, because once you are employed, you are active. Once you are retired, you are not active, and therefore it is safer and better to have a unique number that is assigned to them that nobody can claim, because when you leave, the positions may remain, and those numbers are likely to be. So according to the Accountant General...
What happens to the previous number that you were using, the employment number? What will happen to that once you retire?
Once you retire.
You should be able to find a distinction between active and non-active.
Honorable Chair,
a distinction
from a technical point. Let me say it, from a technical point. When you create a database and you create a user or you create an employee in the system, that number will never be deleted in the system because that number is going to go with you until the end of life. Just like right now we have our own individual TIN numbers, you're going to go with your TIN number for the rest of your life. So in the accounting system also, once you create an account for an individual, even if that person leaves the service, that account still remains because there are transactions that are attached to this particular number. However, this is their bill. If they think it's better for us to go with what they're saying, we don't have a problem. But we are just saying, for the sake of accountability and to ensure that whenever you query the system, you'll be able to get back to the same employee because the numbers will be very unique. Unique, exactly, yeah.
Maybe just to come here, Madam Chair,
we
have to distinguish between active and non-active. That should be one of the criteria that we should take in as one of them. And once you are retired, that number that is assigned to you for your payroll remains, but it's not assigned to anybody anymore. It's no longer assigned, but then you were an active member. Now that you are no longer an active member, but now a pensioner, it is prudent and more safer to have a different number that is going to be unique to you specifically as a pensioner. As a pensioner. Because you are talking about that the fact that the number that remains, it can be used for other transactions. If you are completely retired, these are the issues that may come. Once you are retired, your next status is you are inactive. You are taking your benefits according to the pension scheme and not as an active member. That was the reason why when we reverted back to the Accountant General, they recommended that we assign unique numbers to each pensioner to take account of that.
It's their bill. Honorable Member Fonyani. Yes, one at a time.
Yes, thank you. As far as I'm part of one of the beneficiaries as a retire, as I know, and according to Serakunda, for me, they have given me a number for my retired number, which I normally present anytime I'm requested for my pension allowances. In fact, it has even happened just this last month. None of the pensioners were able to get their salaries because they say they have to go and activate their pensions. And wherever you go, they will ask you your pension number. Not the employee number, but your payment number. And that's what I normally present. And everybody has a different number. So I think it can be maintained as it is. Because if you have to change it, that means the numbers will be changed. But for me, as a pensioner, I have stagnant number, which is always in my slip. Yes.
When they are processing payroll. The order is your VN number for order payments. So for the VN number, regardless of whether you are retired or not, it continues. But for your employee ID, as soon as you retire, it's inactivated. So you cannot use that one anymore. Because for that one, if it still remains there, once every month that they process, you will be paid. So they have to inactivate that one. So you have to be giving a new number that would signify that you are now no more an employee, an active employee, so this is your retirement number. But your VN number continues. If you are given a contract, it will continue. Thank you.
No, not Upper Badibu. Latikunda Sabiji.
I'm not Upper Badibu, I'm Central Badibu.
No, sorry, Central Badibu, you asked a question. So.
But you must say you talk down.
Pardon? No, calm down. There is no need to raise issues. You know I wasn't referring to you. So it is Latikunda Sabiji. That's why I usually raise my chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Kerr. Honorable Kerr, I think if you can remember, if the committee can remember, on the 1st of October 2020 at 11 a.m. at the auditorium, we had a meeting discussing about this particular issue. And what we agreed on, and then if you look at the Appendix 2, that's the minutes of our reports, is there. What we agreed on that day was that they said that there is no need, and this is from it was attended by the Accountant General, Minister of Finance, Auditor General, National Audit Office. And then it is agreed that there is no need for the creation of a personal identification number because all public service employees already have a unique employment number that can be used for ease of cross-referencing. So this is what we agreed on that day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Honorable. My understanding is that the two may be confused, those who are in active service and those not in active service. So in order to not to create any confusion at all, I think it's better to go by what the mover is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, mine is very precise. I'm also in for what the mover said, because we cannot say we agree. You can agree on something at a certain time, but something can also come in which you can make you to change your agreement. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I think the evidence I've been giving, the member for Latrikunda Sabiji have quoted, where those in attendance, the witnesses, have really come up with the idea of changing, making it unique, what's it called again? Unique reference number. But the unique personal number rather. But the explanation from the mover now and the justification from the member for Joshua actually convinces me that we should go by what the mover is advocating for, because I think that is what will finish the entire debate.
I'm not holding anybody's brief. It is their bill. Let's take Central Badibu and before we call on the chair to come up with Central Badibu.
No, I want to simply state that since this is a new system in the entire civil service or in the right ministry, so we need a new identification number. If you want to maintain the old one, you don't solve the problem.
Yes, I just want to get clarification from the mover. Are you going to have a new...
Or later, and we looked at the whole processes. What used to do, entering those numbers were done manually. And there were so many mistakes, as you have recently seen what is going on. So we are constantly reflecting on our strategies to see what is best international standards and practices. And when we had the meeting among ourselves, it was agreed that we have a software that is going to automatically generate them and then move forward so that it becomes unique, it will be transparent, people will be accountable, and those that are also administering the pensions, you know, during the debates, we had a lot of problems, people bringing in a lot of issues, and still issues are coming. So we are trying to respond to those demands and try to improve on the situation. And I think it is in the best interest of this bill for us to have a unique number as recommended by the experts. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair. Chair.
On subclause 2.
Yes.
Subsection 2.
Yes.
The unique number.
Exactly. The reason why I'm asking that question is, if they're going to have a new application that will be tracking these pensioners, there will be an interface. If the identifier cannot identify an employee that is on this new system to a payment at the IFMIS side, there will be some issues. But this is just an advice I have. But there'll be an interface to allow these two to talk.
I am sure at the end of the day, they will have to sort it out. I'll come to you, Chair. Let me take nominated member. I saw your tag. Samusa. Otherwise, I'll be Chair. Okay.
We want to play safe.
Thank you. I withdraw my intervention.
Honorable member for
thank you. I thought that I could amputate even the debate. Really, Honorable Chair, it is very surprising that we are talking about expertise here. We talked about reconciliation. It seems that we were partners and all of a sudden, our partners disappeared and developed an agenda of their own. This is what we were trying to avoid at this level. That's why we talked about reconciliation. The minutes are correct. They, as experts, call them experts, agreed that currently employment numbers exist and they should continue to subsist. It is from them, the experts. If they change their mind, they should have come back to us. The committee will listen to them, and we would not have had the untidy process that we're now having, Honorable Chair. And look at it, Honorable Chair, whatever they decide, let's give it to them. But listen very carefully to what we are agreeing to do. It says membership of the scheme. A person who, at the commencement of this act, is a member of the scheme if he or she is employed as a public officer in the public service. So you can be in active public service and still be a member of the scheme. It's not after. And then is receiving or expecting to receive a pension or gratuity under the provisions of this. So it covers both. Now, let them tell us what they want us to put there, and we put it there and move on. But there should be no indication that anybody is trying to challenge any form of expertise. The expertise was a collective enterprise, and we engaged in consultation, and nobody came back to us to say that what we agreed should now be revoked and the old element introduced. Nobody came back to us. Let me report that. And let her move, and we move on, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, Honorable Member and Chair of PEC, we all agreed that nobody came back to the committee after the conclusion of the consultations. Nobody, yes. But then we are at consideration stage. So as we all said, it is their bill. Let them tell us what they want, or if they want to suspend this bit for further consultation, they are equally at liberty to do so. We can proceed with the others, since this is an issue, and then you can always come back. We'll take maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to sort it out. But let's allow the
Yes.
I don't want us
Thank
to
you very
believe
much, Madam Chair and Honorable Minister. We are together. We are hands in gloves from the beginning to the end. And the bill, Madam Chair, the bill belongs to everybody, every Gambian. It's not unique to the government, it's everybody's bill. And we are here representing, you are the people making this bill, and we are here working together as the legislature and the executive to make it better for the Gambians. I want to tell you that there is no time that we want to undermine or want to disrespect whatever agreements that we have done, but I believe that this bill has gone through a very, very interactive and participatory process that allows everybody to come in with your suggestions, and that is the spirit which we are still working with. Now, if you go to section, there is no need to go back and do any consultation. I think this is one of the most consulted from my own point of view. I don't understand your procedures, but it's just a question of trying to clarify with each other, which is already made very clear. Go to page 8, cap 36.01. 2 says membership of this member of the Director of Pensions shall maintain a unique personal identification number to each member of the scheme and maintain an updated register of members. It's already captured. That is the reason why I am suggesting that it's unique and not what we have agreed, we have discussed, and it has gone through, evolved through a lot of process that metamorphosed from one level to another. And it's already captured beautifully here. So we are not in any variance with each other. It's the same. Probably It's the way that we are putting it, but it's the same. Yes, it is already there in the bill. And if you will agree, I want to just say that I am with you right on for the great work that has been done. Thank you.
Then, not very clear. So,
Let me clarify.
Yes, as I said, I am not very clear. Because
Honorable Chair, let me clarify. The issue is, we agreed, the chair, co-chair.
No, can you just allow me to say?
Yeah, okay.
What I'm saying essentially is, after listening to Her Excellency, now I'm not very clear where we're heading to. Are we going by the unique personal identification number?
Honorable Chair, I believe that the cleansing of the original bill was done by them, and our impression is that they will cleanse it according to the agreements we have reached, the reconciliation. But in this instance, they have decided to maintain a mind of their own on this unique personal identification number, instead of what they originally told us, that there was an employment number already existing in the service that will be retained. That's why I'm proposing that let them propose that this stands part of the bill, and I would request for members that we accept and let them administer as they deem fit, and then we move on. That's what I'm proposing, Honorable Chair.
Essentially, then, the number...
Sorry, no amendment.
No amendment. Number 552 in the clean bill will not apply. No?
The clean bill now, as you have seen, they did not put what we proposed, what we agreed. What they put is what they are now proposing, so we can go ahead with that. Both the original and the clean bill will
Honorable
Speaker,
be the same.
Can I
learn?
Otherwise, we will agree to something that probably I'm not very au fait with. So I need to capture the views so that at the end of the day, what is being proposed will be understood. I always say that I'm not a mathematician. You have to excuse my...
Look at the original bill, Honorable. Look at clause 2 of the original bill, sub-clause 2. It's in the report. It's in the report. It's at the back of the report.
All of us, what we all have is the original bill, 2020. What we call the clean copy is what is in the report, incorporated in the report. So in the old, the original bill, 5.2 talks of the Directorate of Pensions shall issue a unique personal identification number for each member of the scheme and maintain an updated register of members of the scheme. That is what 5.2 is saying. Now, if you can guide us.
Now, going to what they have now,
clean bill, yeah.
What they have now put in the clean bill is not what we really agreed before. That's what my first emphasis. But what they are now putting is that the Director of Pension shall maintain a unique personal identification number to each member of the scheme and maintain an updated register of members. So the word that changes there is issue to maintain. So they're talking about maintain, shall maintain. Now, before what they told us was an existing, that this is not necessary. This should have been revamped. It's not necessary because they have, and it's maintaining the employment number that currently exists. So maintenance is about the number that exists. Issuing is a new number. But if they want to issue, then what they do is just simply indicate that, Honorable Chair, and we can amend maintain to issue, and it stands part of the bill, and we proceed.
Honorable, now I understand. We'll put it to the vote. Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Could I be cleared with regards to this number? Are they going to computerize these numbers? Yes, two numbers. Will they be whatever number we agreed, will it be computerized?
I understand it's already computerized. I saw a tag somewhere. Yes, central body book.
Yes, I think you said we help you to understand. You now understand. Then I raise my case.
What we are saying is, instead of creating a different number, what we are suggesting is, as a committee, is to use that employee number and for this new system, so that there will be consistency between the two systems. Even that is still going to be unique in that system, because nobody else will have that number. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Because the system is just going to need a unique number. So what we are saying is, the number that the person actually has from wherever he was working in the system, use that same number. It's still going to be unique in the system. If you understand what I'm trying to say. So, fine, but otherwise, we can let it go.
I don't know, honorable members, don't you think that the debate is whittling down to semantics? Maybe we can just allow it to go, and then the modalities is for them to work out.
Ma, let's vote on it now.
Yes, so
yes,
please,
Those who are not
can we make some progress? It is proposed that clause 5,
Clause 5, yes.
yes, that clause 5 stand part of the bill without amendment. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. I'm sure the mover of the bill will take into consideration during the whatever process will they be used, the implementation process, to look at all the technicalities, involved. Thank you. Now clause 5 stands part of the bill without amendments. Thank you.
Clause 6, funding of benefits.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable National Assembly members, I move that clause 6 stand as part of the bill. Thank you.
The committee took evidence, Honorable Chair. It noted that the consolidated funds and must be paid into another pension account. And that is why, appropriately, we have recommended, as in the cleanse bill, that it is proposed that clause 6 with amendments stand part of the bill.
Thank you very much. Yes, Central Badibu?
Yes, which amendment in specific, is which clause? Because when you say funding of benefits, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Which amendment are you referring to, Honorable Member of Serekunda?
Well, if we proceed that way, Honorable Member for Badibu, it's like our report to the Assembly is insignificant. It's like we are saying what is in the report is clearly stipulated there, and that's what we approved. To speed up the process, look at clause 6, subclause 2. You will see the word consolidated fund. So we are in general saying it's the clause that should be amended as per the cleanse copy. We already have a cleanse copy attached of the amendments being proposed, which we rationalized and we agreed with the mover that this will form part of the cleanse copy that we are now recommending to stand part of the bill. That is the process.
Yes.
You look at your page 41 going to 42
yes.
of the report.
Yes, I have seen it in the report. But what I'm saying, when an honorable member of Serekunda is trying to read it, he should make reference to 2 so that, because we are at the committee stage and we are mandated by our standing order at committee stage, members can make any amendment relevant to the subject matter under discussion. So what I'm saying is, like, if he is
standing.
exactly.
That reference is to clause 6, 1, 2, 3, or 4, as the case may be.
Just to help in the process also, if you go to page, are you there? So what we did is, we have the original copy and we also have the clean one. The clean one we can make a reference to. Once we get to any clause 5, clause 6, you go to that page, you will see the clauses and you will see the changes that we are proposing on those ones.
The member is very right, Honorable Chair, because it is saying that instead of consolidated fund, you will see the Accountant General shall deduct from every public officer an amount equivalent to 5% of pensionable emoluments, and the amount shall be remitted to the Public Service Pension Fund. But if you look at clause 2 of the original document, it is saying the Accountant General shall deduct from every public officer an amount equivalent to 5% of pensionable emoluments, and the amount shall be remitted to the consolidated fund. So the amendment is to move from the consolidated fund to a public service pension fund.
I think, Honorable Chair, with all due respect, he is not a member of the Joint Committee, and probably not all of us usually read our reports. So it will assist all of us if we say, for instance, for example, clause 6, subclause 2 to read, then he will follow. Or if it were subclause 4, then he will follow. To be just specific in which clause was actually amended or subclause was amended on the 6th. Thank you. We can move. Who? Sorry, it is proposed.
Yes. Clause 6.
It is proposed that clause 6, that is funding of benefits, stand part of the bill. Sorry. They're just doing some consultations with the chief legal advisor to government. And issue has just crept up and...
You want to say something?
Yes.
To be technically correct, he raised some very... Madam Chair? Yes, yes. Attention, yes. Yes, may I just call your attention, Madam Chair and Honorable Minister, Honorable National Assembly members, that there is some technical issues that were brought in, and I think it's right. That is when we talked about the pension scheme, the pension service scheme that is under the, excuse me, let me just, to be correct, let me just get it right. The pension scheme, the public service pension scheme fund has not been defined. And I think that's the only clause that we are missing in this document. Our attention has been brought to it. We are establishing it. So we need to have at least a clause that is a definition of that clause in order to guide us when we want to operationalize this process. So we are aware of that lacuna and we are taking note of it. It's not in this document. If you don't mind.
think that it has to be established here. They cannot go and establish it somewhere else. It's either I don't know whether it would be in order for us to proceed and then let them do their drafting in the meantime. By the time we finish the consideration of the other clauses, they can then come and we insert the clause dealing with the establishment of the fund itself and get it incorporated. I think it was an omission on all our side.
Well,
so I don't know.
Honorable Chair, it's not before us yet. If they have an amendment to their own bill, they can start working on that and indicate where it should go. So if it is within...
Honorable, let us all accept that it is very fundamental that we also ought to have picked it up, but it was an oversight. They have just detected it. It's their problem. They cannot, well, sorry for the language, let them handle it, but we will proceed with our consideration. So if they want, which they are bound to do, come up with an amendment touching on the establishment, then before we finalize the bill today, they can come up with any amendment they wish to make.
Discuss with the committee chairperson of the committee, because this bill is one of the most participatory bills, and we are here in the spirit of working together. And if we see lacuna or some ellipsis during the process, we have to accept it. And accepting it means we want to give the best we can to this bill because it affects every Gambian. So on that note, my suggestion is we meet together with the committee, if they do desire, for us to come together and work together and see that we give it the best that we can, because that's a very important aspect of the bill which needs to be considered. Thank you very much.
Yes, Chair, it's just about procedure.
Have something to say?
Yes, it's just a matter of procedure. We've already moved a motion for, yes, so. Yeah. On the interpretation, we'll amend interpretation also to establish the scheme.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
He said procedurally to proceed or to allow the drafters to have a good look at it, and considering the fact that maybe, I'm not sure we're not going outside the agenda. Just a second. At a less busy day, so that when we adjourn today on this matter, we can come back during the course of the week, give them time to tidy everything up. Of course, when we come, we will have to rescind, that can only be done.
Honorable Speaker, can you allow us to help you? Yes, but use yours also when you are, stiff there.
The technical team is for all of us. When they feed me, I will then feed you, and we take a decision together. Yes, Central Body.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I think you made a very good suggestion. Now, we have passed the interpretation stage. Now we are into the details. Now, allow us to move. They work on it. When they are ready, the mover will make a proposal to the House.
Cannot be moving in the absence of the mover. So my subsequent proposal would be probably just to suspend the sitting for.
I buy your idea. Thank you. Go ahead.
No, she needs to be with us on all the clauses. Equally so, she needs to be with her team to work out these proposals. There are amendments from them.
Yeah,
so let's just take half an hour. I would suggest, Vice Chair, Honorable Co-Chair, we just take half an hour. It's 12:30. We will suspend from the chair, and come back at 1 o'clock. This should not take us 2 hours to finish. So if you agree, I think that let's do it clean. Yeah, I think I want us to do it clean. Yes, Banjul, no?
Yes, Honorable Chair, I move that we stand down for 30 minutes and then come back to continue.
Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The House hereby sitting is suspended for about 30 minutes, and we will reconvene at 1 o'clock. The drafters need to sort out few issues that arose during the consideration stage. So the House is hereby suspended for about 30 minutes. Thank you. You can have your coffee break.